invoke the great power of Archangel Zachiel, the righteousness of God. I ask that you instill in me more memory and more forgiveness, and give me power to remember the secrets of the universe, and to remember the divine origin. I call upon the great power of Zachiel to help me to remember my life purpose and reason for living. I ask that you show me the way to be more compassionate and loving, and ask that you allow me and help me to be the best person I possibly can be. Give me the gift to help others heal their past, and it shall be.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever, however you are. We're here. I'm here. Yes. So let me see. Okay. Okay, I heard that. Okay, whatever. So anyway, good morning. I'm actually off to bed, but I wanted to stop by here very quickly and of course to discuss with you all a new event that we're doing. Of course, I should have been and got on here to talk about this event, but it's never too late. If you check out the blog spot, twospiritmystic.blogspot.com, you will see exactly information on the event that we are doing. Okay. Of course, the event starts on May the 6th, but of course, you can always join in at any time after that because the event is live one on one or group, depending on who sign up, how you sign up, and your availability. And recorded, of course, you can do it anytime. And the same thing for the other event that's going to take place on June the 6th, 2022. It's going to be the same concept. So, although I'm starting on these dates, I will only be running these classes start periods up until the following date. So, this means you could. So let me explain. So that means from May the 6th to June the 6th, you can sign up anytime during that time for the angelic high magic order class. And then from June the 6th to July the 6th, you can sign up for the demonic high order class. Like I said, whether it's recorded or live. Now, of course, I told y'all this before, and we're going to keep it cute and we're going to keep it very quick and very simple. Okay. Of course, we know there's a lot of spectators. Okay. No shade. There's a lot of spectators. Um, but basically, what we're gonna do is there we go. So basically, what we're doing is from the during the recording, what separates the recording from the live is during the recording, there's only certain stuff that's going to be put in the class. I might even make it to where I'm going to be doing a few things that are visual and just talking over the visual because I told y'all in the past we did past classes and people were actually screenshotting what we are putting in the class. And I told y'all this a long time ago, and I will tell you this again. Things that are very, very um, I would say personal, but also things that are kind of like no one's on the internet is really talking about it. I want to keep that amongst those who sign up for the event. You know what I mean? I don't want to share the information with just anyone. So even though people are screenshotting for their own references, this is where your notebook come in handy. When you're hearing it, you're writing it down, you're paying attention. Then of course you're asking questions, like you do in a regular class. Then you're asking questions and you're getting the answer to your question. Once again, you can write that down. So this kind of help you learn. This event will be hands on. So of course, everyone is required to have a notebook, a pencil, and a pen. You can ask, like I said, all the questions you want. Of course, there will be a time limit because, of course, some people will keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. So definitely, you know, we'll set aside a couple of minutes. I would love to, like say, do it a group because, of course, I get this say, and I want to keep it limited too. I need us to put that out there. It's going to be a limited class, okay? And I will not say the number of how many people I want in that class until we actually get closer to the date. But I want to keep it a certain number of class of people in the class, so that way, like I said, there's like 10 people that join. I'll have to put aside 10 separate hours to do a one-on-one. So I would prefer the group. But I would, like I said, definitely check out the blog spot. You will see the information on the class. Now, the demonic high order class it's so much information in that class. It's so much shocking information in that class that I'm not even on the blog spot telling you about what's in that class. Okay. Going into angels having their own language, going into angels having their own category, going into a whole bunch of other stuff. Like, we're going to go over that in this class. Okay. Going into one of the, now, of course, many people have had many experiences with different types of angels. Of course, they want you to think that these angels and these demons actually look like you and I both, when in fact, we already spoke about this before, that Archangel Michael, okay, and Lucifer, okay, are the only ones that had human like qualities, okay? All these other angels look like other things, okay? Now, of course, going into principalities, going into virtues, they even have their own little look. And like I said, we're going to talk about that in this class. Um, a few people out there, I don't know if any of you that are in, you know, that watch me regularly. But a few people out there have actually seen um, different types of celestial beings. One of them being the thrones, okay, which is a classification of angels. And that was actually my very first encounter with angels. I remember being a little kid and I was so freaked out. So, two things. This goes into this, and of course I'm gonna be done because, like I said, a very very long day. It's 2:05 in the morning, and I need to take my butt to bed. So when I was younger, probably about 12 years old, and that's when a lot of my spiritual gifts were actually happening for me. I was there around 11, 12, 13, 14, okay, where they were prominent, they were strong, and I was able to understand what was going on, right? Like, oh, okay, I'm not losing it. But I remember looking, we had a dirty clothes hamper. And I remember I would just look at these dirty clothes, in the dark, of course, to go to sleep. And one time in particular, I witnessed something that kind of freaked me out outside of my window. And of course, when I woke up in the morning, I told them what happened, and they actually ended up getting the perpetrator. But either way, so I'm looking at this hamper of clothes, and the hamper of clothes mysteriously changed from a hamper of clothes to a lion laying down. How would you say that? I would say flat, sideways up. I don't know. And so I'm just amazed by what I'm seeing. And remember, I told one of my brothers what I was seeing, and he was like, you're crazy, cause bitch, it's closed there. And I'm like, no, I'm seeing a lion. So they were really like, this bitch losing her mind. Anyway, fast forwarding. One time in particular, I believe that we just had company, and they left. This was probably we'll say on a Tuesday because our company would come over on Fridays and leave on Sundays. It was typically like my cousins, or we would have our play cousins in the apartment complex coming to spend the night. My mom was not really that a fan of us going to other people's house to spend the night. She would prefer them come to our house because, of course, my mom didn't trust people. Anyway, honey, I'm laying in this bed, and I actually believe that I had the stomach flu or something, but I was not feeling too well for sure. And I'm laying in this bed, and I'm like looking out into complete darkness, and like I'm halfway in, halfway out, like I'm halfway awake, halfway asleep. And I started seeing these sets of eyes. There were you know, two eyes, and then the two eyes started multiplying, and then it was multiplying, and then it starts spinning very fast like the Price is Right wheel. And it freaked me the fuck out because I'm like, honey, okay, like, am I really seeing this shit? And anyway, I was just freaked the fuck out. And I remember we had a lady named Mrs. Joshua. She's a very strong Christian woman. She still is a Christian woman. She's actually Jamaican. And she, my mom would tell her these stories. I told y'all about me living in a haunted house with these other little angels. They're demonic. Well, they're angels with demonic qualities, or we could say demons with angelic qualities. Okay, we could say either or. But we saw these little demonic beings like cherubs, but they were small. Um, they were more evil looking. Okay, like little bitty gnomes and stuff. I mean, that's the best way I could say. They were like gnomes, evil little things doing shit. And my mom thought we were doing shit in the house, and that's when she gagged when she found out that the house was really haunted. Okay, even when we had guests that came over, I gotta give my mom a call so my mom can tell y'all these stories. Um, that we experienced and stuff. Even going into the Ouija board and the name that was spelled out, and my cousin was like, "This shit ain't real." And then Mama ended up getting into a car accident 2 weeks later, and the car accident involved the name of the person who showed up on the Ouija board. Now that right there was one of like the really my one of the most mind blowing experiences I think I ever experienced. Okay, my whole life spiritually. But either way, so when I told her what I saw, right? She was like, "You either saw the seraphims or you saw the thrones." And I'm like, "How does lady even know all this shit?" That was the first question. Like, first of all, who ordained this lady to know all this shit? But second of all, what are these things? So because I had access, oh come on in here, to these spirits, and she said either the seraphim or the thrones, I have to do my research, right? And during that time, it was Ask Jeeves. So I would do my digging. I would do my digging. I would do my digging. That's what made me start really going to the public library and spend time on the computer, do my research. And to my surprise, I actually found out that the thrones were actually a category of angels that actually are the keepers of celestial records, and they hold the knowledge of God. Okay. And when we say God, we mean plural, because if you look up Elohim, the singular term for Elohim is Eloha, okay, or Eloah. So Elohim is a group of beings, right? Even going into Adonai and all that good stuff, God and Lord and all this good stuff. These are ships. Lord is a Lord ship. God is a God ship, or God dumb, or whatever. It's a collective of energy. And even going into us, we're all humans, but there's light humans, dark humans, tall humans, short humans, fat humans, skinny humans. And of course, they're going to tell you that it's about climate, but we all physically manifested into a spiritual blueprint of something. And I would keep that there. So, going into the fact that these thrones are angels that are keepers of the celestial records and hold the knowledge of God, okay, that was actually sent to earth to do some very extraordinary things in human history. And one of them was actually expelling humankind from the Garden of Eden. Now, I told you guys this before, that the moon that we have now is not a real moon, right? We know that it's a satellite of sort. But we do know that the Garden of Eden, for those who know true human history, was actually on the surface of the moon. It wasn't on the surface of the plane that we're on now. So even though they were sent to Earth, and human history, or excuse me, the history that they tell you is that the moon came from the Earth. Oh, come on in here. It's a different dimension of the Earth, but it shared the same type of frequency. Oh, come on in here. And spiritual access as the motherfucking Earth. Like I said, they came and they kicked humans out. And that's just one of the things. So in this class, we're going to go over that. If you're interested, okay, if you're interested, and like I said, my mind was blown away um, of the thrones, this ring of lights going multiple directions, and they spin really, 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 really quickly. And the energy that shoots from it is just like, whoa. And the crazy thing about it, too, like I said, I was sick because I believe that weekend we had like chili dogs or something. And this before I knew that pork messed me up. We had chili dogs, and it told me up, honey, from Saturday until like Tuesday or Wednesday. And so actually seeing these energies, and I've seen them multiple times. Another time was when Archangel Gabriel showed up. Okay. And my roommate at the time, who was my best friend, was actually freaked the fuck out. Okay. Um, but either way, um, the seraphims, okay, I believe I've had one encounter with those energies because all of these beings are able to shape shift. Once again, going into how we get that angelic beings look like us. Like I said, some of them do. Angels do because, of course, they're connected closer to us, right? But archangels look a little more different. Than going into the principalities and then the authorities and the dominions, like it starts shifting, right? And they start getting greater and greater with their shape shifting. Um, so of course, all shape shifting stuff is not bad. But either way, the seraphims um, actually are those who are on fire. And we talked about this before. And if you do not know, we talked about how there are duality as far as good and evil go with the Elohim, okay, and or with the God consciousness or the God um, you know, collective. I told y'all this experience that I had when my sister passed away. And of course, this could have just been an experience because we're going to play the devil's advocate. Okay. We're going to make it seem like maybe it was not a spiritual experience. Maybe it was my mind because I know so much about spiritual history and human history, which of course have been unlocked through me doing my past life regressions and me having an encounter with spiritual beings. Um, that it was my own mind putting this out there. But when my sister was passing over out of what I call the realm of realms, and I saw her in her rawest form, it was like a room, very open, with a very, like, if I had to describe it, it was like a porcelain white table. And all these beings were around this table, and all these beings looked the same. They were bald. They had no hair, no eyebrows. They were nude, but I saw no breasts. Okay, it was just nudeness with no breasts. And so going into this, um, God being duality, this energy being duality, good, bad, evil, whatever. There's no such thing as lukewarm, though. You're either hot or you're cold. Okay. There's no such thing as I'm kind of in the middle. I think that when you're kind of in the middle, you're in the gray, what we call confused, but you're going to go to one or the other side when it's all said and done. But either way, the seraphims are actually the angelic beings that are closest to God. Oh, come on in here. And they're actually known as the fiery ones. So that energy is plasmatic. Oh, come on in here. The energy of God is so plasmatic. That's why when you're in church, you get hot. When you start accessing that realm, you get hot. We're not saying all churches, but when somebody starts tapping into that frequency and that energy, the body starts to heal up. Even going into the blue flame of healing, going into the red and the pink and the blue and all this good stuff. These are very, very powerful angelic beings. They have multiple wings. I believe it's either six or eight. These wings are beautiful. The best way to describe it to you, even going into the archangels, the wings look very much the same. And even when I looked this up, I don't know why I do not see this on Google, but when I saw Archangel Gabriel, his wings had all these beautiful colors on it. It was like, the brightest blue, the brightest pink, the brightest purple, lime. And the only thing I can even tell you guys that reminds me of some of the colors on his wing was the parakeets. I've owned parakeets before, and a lot of the parakeets I had were either blue with like purple colors in the wings, or they were like lime green with yellow color, or the opposite of that. And I think I owned like one gray with like some blue stuff in it. By the way, it was very, very colorful. All the colors of the rainbow amplified times 10. And so going into the seraphims and these wings, okay, being these colors and just so big, and oh my goodness. So anyway, once again, these things are very, very powerful. And even going into the seraphims being just an eye, right? Very similar to the thrones, just an eye with all these wings around it, right? Like I say, 6 to 8 different wings just around it spinning, like I said, on fire, okay? Literally on fire, okay? Anyway, so that's pretty much it. Like I said, in the class, we're going to go over a whole bunch of tea, and you're going to learn a lot of things about yourself, okay? Whether you are demonic or angelic by nature, it does not matter. I do feel like humans have the ability to be both. That's why we have the opportunity to be right here in the middle, in the inner earth, and when I mean the inner earth, I mean the spiritual inner earth, honey. Okay, because we're not subterranean. Okay, but either way, and we're not extraterrestrial neither. But anyway, you will learn some things about yourself that might surprise you. Even going into the spirits that you have possibly encountered, the energies, the celestial spirits. We're not talking about ghosts that have passed on. We're not talking about spirits. We're not talking about demonic forces that are here through trauma and they cannot leave because they're trapped here. We're talking about celestial beings that are right here, right here, but in another dimension that you're able to access to get a change, to get a healing, to get free, to feel energetically charged. And of course, going into being unapologetic about who you are, what you stand for, what you believe in, and not really letting people move you away from that. A lot of people are being affected by the energies that are out there right now. And a lot of people, even going to people I deal with personally, are going to see some major changes. And of course, I wouldn't say goodbye to them, but I'm definitely going, we're shifting. My consciousness is shifting. And I feel like if people don't want to shift with your consciousness, then it's time to let them go. And that's no cut in. And of course, I bring that up to stay with you all too. When you're moving into another state of consciousness or you're elevating within yourself, there are things that you will leave back. There are people, person, places, and things that you will let go of that will no longer serve you. And this might be friends right now, this might be family members. But trust when I tell you, some people are in your life for a season, some things are in your life for a season, and you keep it moving. Life is beautiful. And anyway, don't hold back for nobody, honey. So we're gonna go over a lot of stuff in these classes. Like I said, there's 4 weeks long, uh, a class every week. You can check out the blog spot, twospiritmystic.blogspot.com. You see more information on it. Beautiful, beautiful, amazing. And that's really it, honey. Come on in here, Jay. Who you doing? Yes, honey. I hope you're well, honey. Listen, we're going to be also doing another Midnight Metanoia. This week, we're going to, come back with a little bit of a twist. I don't think this week Midnight Metanoia is going to be live. I think it's going to be pre-recorded because someone actually sent me some ideas, right? Like they literally was like, listen, check out this mysterious place. There's a place on the East Coast I for sure want to touch on as well, which is very mysterious. People have had a lot of encounters there. And I, like I said, I just, I want to just kind of switch up, add a little bit of extra stuff in it. Y'all know I'm into that. And then also going into the whole Midnight Metanoia series, we're gonna also be doing some well, I can't. Yeah, let me surprise y'all with that. I can't tell y'all what we're gonna be doing with that. But anyway, y'all just don't know how today was. Today was so blessed. It was good, Jay. Yes, it was very good, honey. Of course, I'm tired as hell right now. I've been up since 8 o'clock yesterday morning, honey. Trying to fight through right now just to get all this out, okay? Missing this match just definitely had a convo to co-sign member today and hadn't in deep though. I know that's right. I'm telling you, things are happening. There was actually a planetary alignment the last time I was on here with you all. Okay. In the past few days, we've had Earth Day. People celebrated National Marijuana Day. Girl, BS. And then of course, um, five of our planets aligned. And you can see it visibly. You can see them visibly in the sky. But either way, things are shifting. And sometimes, Jay, and I'm telling you from experience, it's kind of like, okay, let me tell you this. So it's kind of like you getting burnt, right? You're cooking on a hot stove, you accidentally burn yourself. And the last time you burned yourself was 3 years ago, right? Or 6 months ago. But each time you burn yourself, you're burning yourself, which is the same experience. But each time you burn yourself, it feels like you've never been burnt. And it feels horrible. Even if you get burnt 2 days apart, a day apart, hour apart, you're like, damn. And it just each time it feels different. The same thing with our relationships with people, whether they're blood or not, because I do feel like, blood makes you related, but it does not make you like I have to be in your life. You know what I mean? Like I think about this. I know this is kind of fucked up, but I think about babies that were born and the mothers had to bury them at like 6 months old because they died from SIDS or whatever. Like that child came into that parent's life, but that child won't be back in this parent's life in the physical form for the rest of that parent's life. So now that parents have to wonder what this could have been and they have to move on, right? They cannot sit there their whole life and say, oh my God, I wish, oh my God. Yeah, they will go crazy doing that. And so that's how I feel with experiences in life. Like, just because people are related to us, I mean, we have to be in their life and they have to be in our life. And just like even going into friends and stuff, like, nothing is set in stone and people don't have to be a fixture in your life. And if it's meant for you, God's will, the universal will, for you to be in this person's life, or this person's supposed to be in your life for your whole lifetime, so be it. If it's meant for them to only, encounter your presence, whether they're blood or not, for only 20 years of your life, 30 years of life, whatever, so be it. You have to fully, fully let go. And I think that's why going into the Christian Bible, it speaks about, putting God first. I don't think that putting God first is literally meaning, forget your family, forget your blood, and da 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 da. I think putting God first is you. Like, you're going to be put in situations that people cannot go with you. And you're going to say, damn, I can't do it. I just watched a video actually before I go into that even more, of a rapper in Ohio, Ohioans. Um, and she was supposed to be going to Atlanta to start a record deal. And she decided to stay back. She was like, no, I can't go. I got to stay back here and help. And they end up killing her. And see, and I'm not saying this to say, but I'm just saying, if she would have took that opportunity to go live her life and said, let me go here and handle my business, ma, and when I'm back on my feet or I'm good, I'll send for you, mama would still be here right now. But once again, putting other people before herself caused her to be cut short like that. And I'm not saying that's what caused it, but I'm saying like she didn't get the opportunity because she wanted to stay back. And we know that other things came into play too. Like people were jealous of her. Oh, she's getting money. Let's get her together. So going back into what I was gonna say, with friends and stuff, like I meet people, I've met people in my past, and I'm like, ooh, we're gonna have a friendship for a long time. Like I'm sitting here thinking about like, oh my God, I'm gonna be friends with them in 20 years. Oh my God, I could see us being 30 together, 25 together. I can see us being 40 together. I can see us being the Golden Girls together. And then something happens within a year or two, and sometimes even 3 or 4 years, right? That's why my best friend is my best friend. Because whatever happened, we're still in each other's life. Like Even if there was some type of disagreement, I understand her point, she understand mine, right? But all these other friends that I've encountered in the past, like I said, something just didn't sit right with me. Like my other best friend I was best friends with for 10 years, he decided to be a bum. You know, he didn't want to get a job. He didn't want to be a business owner. He wanted to live with his mama. I mean, hell, I even moved him out of his mother's house for us to live together. And he decided to move back in with his mom. And then he started downclining, declining. Oh, I hate weed heads. I hate crack heads. And now he's a weed head. You know what I mean? Like, he just started declining. And I'm like, wait a minute, I thought you went into that. And that's when I told myself, like, honey, like, you can't tell the people how to live their life, but you also understand what your goals are. You understand what you're here to accomplish. And if people are going to be in your life, they have to be on that same frequency. Because if not, then they're going to hold you down. And that goes even into like why wealthy people don't deal with bumming people. It's not that they think they're better than anybody. They just don't want to have a friend or a person that's always saying, well, you got $1 million, you should give me 10,000 of that. Like, bitch, fuck you. I worked hard for this money. You didn't work for this money. And just because we're friends don't mean I have to give it to you. I can show you how to get it, but I don't have to give you what I worked for. And so that goes into that perspective wise, that I'm just really realizing that everyone has a different mindset. And it's okay that I like people, or we have some things in common. But yeah, just because we have some things in common don't mean we have to be in each other's life forever. If it's meant for us to only be in each other's life for a few years or to say hi and bye, so be it. But I'm just, yeah. So you have to let things go, and going into, like I said, my 2 or 3 weeks. That's just kind of but what I've been contemplating on. Like people, not being the best they could be. And like I said, it's not about them being like me or me being like, or them being like me or me being like them. It's about them being the best they can be. And if you have the opportunities to make things happen for yourself, and you're just like, I don't want to do it because whatever you got going on in your head, whatever, that's your business. Then, like I said, I can't force you to be the best you possibly can be, but I also won't sit back and watch the train wreck. Like, I won't do it. And we all been in a situation before where we were not performing at our best, right? We all been there. If you have not been there or you're still there right now, trust me, it does get better. But I've been there where I didn't think I was capable of doing certain things. Or I was like, oh, I'm gonna wait until this to do this, and that, and that. And it's just like, girl, but you have the opportunity today. And if I had the opportunity and I knew about the opportunity back then, or if people told me about the opportunity back then, let's go back even 2013. So 10 years ago. If people were like A, B, C, D, E, F, G back then, oh my God, I would be further where I'm at right now. But I had to learn on my own because nobody wanted to tell me shit. So when I see people that they're now where I was 10 years ago, but imagine them being around the same age as me. So it's like, damn, like you really, when that shit really hits you, you really gonna feel like, damn, what the fuck was I waiting for? Um, but I'm telling them like, hey, you should A, B, C, D, F, G, and they're like, no, I don't see it the way you see it. And it's like, oh. So like I said, no shade. There's certain energies I won't put up with. I won't. I wish everybody the best with their goals, with their choices and how they do it. Like I said, I can say hi and bye, but me getting involved with people who once again ain't trying to live out their true potential, yeah, honey, that's not me, honey. Back in the day, yeah, that was me. But now, right now, girl, yeah, I can't elevate and you want to stay where you're at. That's why I let go of my old best friend. That's why I let go of my other childhood best friend. Actually, two of my childhood best friends. I actually just ended. I went to middle school with a girl. We ended our friendship 6 years ago because the same damn thing. Mama was progressing. Mama got a house. Mama got a car. Mama had a kid, so she should have bought her house. But then she started downward spiraling again, going into baby daddy drama. And I'm just like, girl, didn't you deal with that in high school? Like when we talk on the phone, I don't want to be hearing about you having baby daddy issues. Like, honey, you know better. Like, girl, your parents taught you better. You got your ass beat back in the day for dealing with bummy ass men. So now you're grown and you're just like, well, I really need it. Like what? And then she had really good looking, intelligent guys hit on her. Like I remember there was a Filipino guy in particular that I was like, damn, I wish he was into the girls, but he was like, with all due respect, I'm not in. I think you're beautiful, but you're not my type of girl. And I was like, damn, okay. But girl, he fixed cars. He had money. He was intelligent. He came from successful family. And I'm like, that's the perfect man to have a kid with and build your life with. And mama was just like, no, I want to settle with this bummy ass, second class citizen that don't really give a fuck about their future person. And I'm not gonna say his name. His name started with a J though. And daddy's parents came here from Mexico. They worked hard to make sure their kids were at the best school, all this other stuff, honey. I think even their oldest son was killed. And so his ass get of age and he's partying, drinking, like, oh well, I'm in America. I don't give a fuck about those people. And girl fucked up his whole shit. Mama had a baby with him, and girl, nothing. Mama trying to get help, he's not giving it. And I'm just like, how are you here? How are you an immigrant and you're a bum? And that's what I was saying. Like, I don't understand that. Like, some people I know that are here from another country, they bust their ass to be here. But some people, they're here from another country and they're just like lazy. And I'm just like, how's that possible? And I can't even say that's a male or female thing, because even going into like people coming from other countries, I know more males that came from other countries, and they're on it. Like, I talked to one right now. His name is Victor. Daddy's from El Salvador. Came here at 17 years old illegally. And this motherfucker got money and is well known in the fucking Bay Area. But like I know other people where they're just like, girl, they've been here for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And it's just like, bitch, what you got going on for yourself? You know what I mean? And some of them will be like, well, it's because I don't have any safety or whatever. They'll just keep making up excuses. And it's just like, no, honey, if you want to make it for yourself, you're going to make it for yourself. You're just comfortable. And so, once again, if you're comfortable where you're at, then I'm gonna leave you where you're at, and I'm gonna keep it moving, because yeah, I need people that's gonna be dealing with me on a personal level to be on that level too. Like, hey, girl, there ain't no, are you still dealing with this bummy bitch? Yeah, yeah, and yeah, like, you need to be able to take care of yourself and figure for yourself, and or come together and build. Like, girl, hey, I want to take a trip to Dubai and I want to do a girls trip. And, a couple of friends are like, I can't afford it. Like, it's crazy. And this happens with a lot of people I know too. Like, I knew another girl from in the past. Mama's a bad bitch. And she would say the same thing. Like, I travel by myself. I do things by myself because everybody either wants you to pay for them, or they act like they got the money, they don't have the money. And I was like, ooh, girl, that's crazy. But it's true. Seeing it out, it's very true. Like, some people are really comfortable with, settling. And like I said, you can't make people change their mind, but bitch, I don't gotta be around that, you know? Yes, I'm also realizing if I can't vibe with people spiritually, then I should be vibing with them physically. You know what? Yes, Jay, yes. If you're not vibing with them spiritually, and that's what I say too. I was just telling this is synchronicity. I was just telling this with my best friend 2 days ago. I told her my birthday's coming up. The energies are going to be changing on June the 6th, 2022. That deals with creativity. That deals with, there's just going to be a big, big shift on that day. And then, of course, going into August and then going into November. But either way, I said, yeah, honey. Yeah, if you're not doing spiritual baths and you're not doing spiritual cleanses and you're not recharging yourself, and you don't gotta always say it, but if I'm dealing with you and I'm not hearing you say I'm doing my spiritual cleanse tonight, I'm doing spiritual bath tonight, then I can't fuck with you, because energy is always being sent out and it's gonna find a way in, and it gets the weakest link first. So if energy is being sent out and everybody who's attached can get it, and everybody who's attached ain't doing their spiritual part, then they're going to get it. And then the energy is going to jump off of them to the person who's meant to get for it as well, technically, because you're receptive to that person. So that's why I'm like, I need everybody around me to be on spiritual cleanses, spiritual baths, detoxing. I need to be on top of that. But once again, like I said, I know you can't make people be that way, but I don't have to deal with that. And some things you do learn, like going into self love, like that's the number one thing, self love. And like I said, some people, you encounter them and they don't show those qualities. They have a bad image of what they look like, what they feel like, what they act like. Even going into relationships, they'll settle for a man who beat them, they'll settle for a man who treats them as a sideline, they'll settle for a man. And I'm that girl, I've settled before, but bitch, I got paid. So I'm like, some people really just settle to be the second half or the crumb snatcher. And it's just like, yeah. Starting with that right there, if that's you, that's not me. So that already is going to tell me that we're not going to be able to vibe. Like, that should already be like, yeah, honey, Personally, that's not going to work out. Virtually, the internet, high and by, the cell phone, what's up? Yeah, that's going to work. But us hanging out, yeah, that's not going to work out. Like, I need whoever I deal with on a personal level to be on my level, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. Once again, we don't have to have the same financial goals. We don't, because everyone's financial goal is different, but definitely be realistic. Once again, 30 years old, let's say, we're going to say 30 because 30 is considered the halfway point. What, 65? Well, now it went up to 82, but, not too long ago, life expectancy was 62 to 67. So 30 is half of that. So by 30 years old, already you should have your stuff established. Your own house, your own car. If you do not have that, at least have about 30,000 saved up. You don't got a house, you don't got a car. Once again, that's yours. You don't got 30,000 saved up. Oh, yeah, honey. Unless you just crawled underneath the rock today, last year, a year ago. Yeah, honey. Yeah, we're not compatible in that area neither. Going into spirituality, honey, you're not into spirituality. You know about spirituality, but you're not actively doing it. Like, you're not, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're like, oh my God, I wish I could make this happen. And it's like, really? Oh, I don't want to do that because what happens if I do that and this happened? Like, wait, don't you believe in magic? And like that, I'm learning this about people. I'm learning this about people. Like, wow, like, bitch, I thought this person was really, really spiritual because they do not have a lot of spiritual knowledge. But going into people reading stuff, going into people hearing stories, going into people seeing movies and stuff, that don't mean they actually experienced it. And I want people that experienced spirituality, not just witnessed or you were told. Like, I need to see it. Like, what do you do for yourself? How do you keep your mental health up? How do you heal yourself mentally, physically, emotionally? How do you take care of yourself? Because you got to have your back. Nobody has to have your back. Oh, as a backup plan, I'll deal with Tommy. As a backup plan, I'll hit up Linda. As a backup plan, I'll ask Jenny. No, 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 honey. You have to take care of you. There's no backup plan, mama. It's you. Like, you count for you. You came into this world by yourself. The doctor helped your mother have you, but when you came out that poom poom, you didn't come out with two things at the same time. Even if twins and stuff, you came out by yourself. And when you die, you're gonna die by yourself. And when you have to talk about what you did in your life, it's for yourself by yourself. So why when we're in this life, we become so foo foo. And we're like, oh my God, I have to depend on people. Oh, let me piggyback off. Let me see if I can hitch a ride. No. And like I said, I'm that girl that will say, realistically, I want an A, B, C, D, F, G, and I will go for it, baby. I will stay up if I have to for 3 days to make sure I achieve that goal, whether it's financially, whatever it is. I make it happen. Because once again, I know that I'm responsible for me and nobody else owe me shit. But a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people, some I know, some I don't know, they will actually sit back and complain while their life is not good and blame it on other people. Oh, it's not good because this, it's not good because that. I can't get this because I'm a woman. I can't get this because I'm black. I can't get this because I'm trans. I can't do this because I'm this. And I'm just like, but you really don't want to do it. You really don't want to do it though. Because if you really wanted to do it and you know about spirituality, you believe in the mind and you know how the spirit works, then you know that you can get it. So if you really don't want it, it's never going to happen. So, like I said, do you want it or you don't want it? And if you want it, then how bad do you want it? And you got to answer that for you. I can't answer that for you. And I'm also going to see it. Going into, like I said, the pandemic, I went into a lot of stuff from a lot of people. And I'm just like, damn, everybody else I know is growing. And there's a few group of people that are doing the same shit they did before the pandemic. And I'm just like, honey, when the pandemic hit, you should have been already charging up. Now that it's still kind of there, but it's gone. They want to think it's still there. It's kind of gone. You're still where you were in 2019. You might be a little ahead. Let's talk about percentage wise, 3% more. It's like, yeah, you need to give it up, honey. It's time to go to sit down and let somebody else take over. And that's how I say it, honey. Yes, that thought crossed my mind earlier this evening about a particular friend, and I'm like, we can't be on it like that. Right. And it's sad. Like today, Jay, I was beating myself up over this. It's so crazy. I was beating myself up over this, and I had to do some meditation. Like, and I had to call one of my other people that I associate with, and because I can't even say a sister or spirit, we're gonna say someone else. And I had to kind of not vent, but just release stuff out of my body with this person because we don't always see eye to eye, but definitely going into progress we do. And I was just like, it's so crazy. Like you want people to be this way and they can never be that way. And have a think about like people wanting their boyfriend to be, or their baby father to be the man in the picture, and he's like, I'm not doing it. And they're like, fuck. But that's how I felt. And it's like I'm really gonna have to start stepping back from a lot of stuff because I feel like it's hindering me, you know. I feel like it's hindering me. And then of course spirit I feel like is talking to me and I'm not listening. Like spirit is saying, these people are not ready. Like you can't force this on them. And then of course I get irritated because I'm like, well, they hit me up. They wanted to befriend me. They wanted to hang out with me. I didn't hit them up. They came in was like, hey, I know you. Let's talk. Here's my number. So it's kind of like I feel catfished because they had me thinking that they were that boy or that girl. They had me thinking that they were ready, that they were, and they're not. So it's like, yeah, honey, I just, yeah, I can't say I wish they were, but it's like, yeah, bitch, now it's time to step back and move on. It's kind of step back, move on, and really move on. Keep going on. Once again, opportunities came up. Spirit gave opportunities. And of course, I believe in spirit. Anyone knows me? I put spirit for anybody. I don't care who you are. We could book a trip together. I already booked the trip or whatever, put in so much money, and oh well, the trip got to get canceled because Spirit tell me I can't go, and I lose out on that money. I'm okay with that because Spirit gonna make sure I get that money back. Because Spirit is the one to tell me, bitch, don't go do it. So it's like Spirit give you ideas, Spirit gives you you know signs, and you have to really listen. And like I said, honey, without saying too much, like I said, I learned a lot. I learned a lot over the few years, definitely, but definitely the past year, I've learned a lot about people. I learned a lot about people putting excuses in front of things. And I am a procrastinator. I told y'all this before. I do procrastinate. But when things need to get done, I get them done. I'm responsible for me. I'm responsible for my rent. I'm responsible for my car payments. I'm responsible for everything that I do. I'm responsible for my babies. It's me. Nobody tells me to do this. Nobody motivates me to do this. I do this because I want to do it. So it's like, there's no excuses. But when it comes down to certain stuff, oh, bitch, I got until the 10th of next month to do A, B, C, or G, bitch. I'll wait until the last minute to do it. But if it's a need to be done, I'm getting my ass up to do it. But like I said, some people shit need to be done, honey. They're like, I could do it in 3 months. I could do it. And it's like, baby, you don't even know if 3 months is going to come around for you. You don't even know, bitch, anything can happen. You don't even know. So it's like, bitch, you really want it? And it's even crazier. Let's say, for a good example, and this is no shade to nobody, but let's say, for example, we're booking a trip. Let's say we book a trip together and You know already going into it what you're going to do, what you're not going to do. Okay? You already know this. But you're going to still book the trip with me, Jay. And then you're going to be like, well, actually, before I do this trip, I want to do A, B, C, D, F, G. And I'm for that because I'm for achieving goals and also prioritizing. But then you put the trip on hold and say you want to accomplish three things. And literally 3 months later, you've only accomplished one of those goals. Now I'm looking at you like, so was you saying you wanted to accomplish these goals as an excuse to not go? That you didn't want to do it, you couldn't afford it, you wasn't trying, like, or you're just that lazy, like you really was trying to make those goals, and then finally when time hit, you're like, yeah, I can't do it. But either way, you're still, like I said, a you're, I want to say that's procrastinating. That's really just, girl. Yeah, that's, yeah, I don't know what the fuck you call that. That's just a little too much, honey. Like, bitch, we set goals and we accomplish them. So, like I said, I need goal orientated, I need ambitious, I need hungry, I need motivational, I need inspirational, I need aspiring. I need, bitch, I'm going to sit back, I'm going to watch Megan Thee Stallion all day. And now you're dropping a Megan Thee Stallion type of album in a month. Like, that's what I need around me. That's what I need to see. Going into my past, going into my triggers, and how I survived and how I'm still motivating is because, once again, I stayed in my lane and I only dealt with people who were also achieving and working towards it. But if you want to not be that, I got to leave you where you're at, because you're going to trigger something in me. You're going to make me want to also relapse and go backwards. And I'm be the exact same girl I was when I knew my old best friend almost 10 years ago. Same bullshit. Decline backwards, step forward. I took 2 steps forward and took 5 steps back. Took 5 steps fucking back. And then that's the spirit came in and said, bitch, you better get your shit together, bitch, because you were not designed to be this bummy ass, dusty ass bitch. Wake your ass up, bitch, and get your shit together. But I'm afraid, bitch, you don't got time to be afraid. Bam, got it together. And I'm still getting it together, bitch. But like I said, look at me now. 2017 to now, bitch, I've grown a lot, emotionally, with a lot of shit. And like I said, if people don't want you, they want to still be the same thing, bitch. What you up to now? Well, I mean, I got a little bit of change going on. Yeah, honey, you should be doing a whole 360 though. Like I set a goal, within 2 years, you're gonna see that goal be accomplished, bitch. Before I got my implants, we go to that was a very big goal for me. I was not planning on getting no implants, but I said, you know what? This will bring in more money for me. Let me invest. Let me invest. And bitch, literally 2 years, I got it. Going into me moving. Okay, I'm ready to move on up like the Jeffersons. I need to, move into an area where I feel safe and I love people and people love whatever. Bam, made it happen in 2 years. After that, I gotta go. 2 years later, I haven't. Now this, okay, I gotta, like, everything I set my mind for, I've accomplished. But I know I've known people, and of course I'm be done for venting, but I've known people, well, let's say within the past 5 years, let's say from 2018 to now, and I've only noticed like a little bit of change. And I'm just like, how how are we in the same energy space, and I've grown or done a 180 and you're still only 60 degrees complete around the circle. Oh, well, I'm going nice and slow. Honey, time is speeding up. There's no such thing as you're going against time and you're going to be successful. You're going to start going down, 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 honey. We all were there. We've all been there before. You're going to start going down, down, down. You think you're comfortable, you think you're safe, but the universe don't play safe, honey. Everything, there's a comfort zone, and it's called comfort zone for a reason. You're stuck in this little box. Oh, you're going to be safe there for a while, but now the universe is going to start flipping and turning, and now you're going to fall out. And like I said, I don't wish bad stuff on people, but that's usually how it happens. So, bitch, when you know, bitch, you can do better, bitch, just do better. And the signs are there. Spirit is saying, bitch, you need to get your shit together. And you're just like, yeah, but I can wait until 2027. Like, bitch, we're barely in 2022 and you're saying 2027? I heard that. I heard that, sis. Come on in here, Larry. How you doing, Larry? We are well, honey. I'm about to go to bed. Yes, honey. You stopping by to say hi. I'm stopping by to say good night. Ow. But yeah, it's really crazy, Jay, that I felt like I feel like this is spirit too. Like I came on here to discuss this angelic magic class and literally get up off here. And I bring up this topic and then you come in here and you're like, hey, I was just having this, and it's crazy. Like 2 days ago I had a conversation with one of my sisters, and then literally I woke up to something yesterday, and I said energy is definitely shifting and things need to change. And I kind of gave a ultimatum to spirit. Oh, come on in here. I said, well, if plan B happens, then I need to say bye bye, tie tie, woo woo, lulu. If plan A happened, I will still be around as a support, but it will not be an everyday thing. It will be a privilege to be able to connect with me. And plan A actually happened. I was like, oh, that's spirit telling me that, yeah, honey, you're doing the right thing. Keep your distance, focus on you, do what you gotta do. And when that person's doing their thing, you will see it too. You'll see it, you'll feel it, and then you can reach back out and be like, okay, bitch, now I see you growing. But if you feel like, bitch, your head is getting fucked up, or you're beating a dead sheep or whatever, yeah, but you gotta let that shit go because that's too much stress. And I see why people argue when it comes to relationships too, because I feel like they're growing and the partner that they're with are not growing. They're not progressing. And I said this before, a relationship is a relationship, whether it's friendship, intimateship, it's still the same thing. So it's like, yeah, baby, you're not growing. I want to grow. You're not wanting to grow. Yeah, honey, I gotta go. And once again, you gotta be like me. Opposites attract. But be great in your area. You're claiming to be a barber. At least, at least be busy at least 7 times out of the day. If the other barbers are getting 100 clients a day, at least get 7 clients a day. If you're claiming to be, a mechanic, study what the mechanics do. And bitch, if they say the mechanics are making, you know, 10,000 a month, at least try to bring in at least 4,000. But bitch, you're bringing in, or you're not working towards a realistic goal, or you're underachieving, not overachieving. Oh, girl, we can't do that. We can't do that. Huh? Anyway, let me go there though. It's about to be 3 o'clock in the morning. I already brushed my teeth and everything. I'm just gonna turn off this light, relax myself. Once again, the angelic class, demonic class, coming up very, very soon. You do not want to miss. As I said before, we're definitely going to go over some T languages, imagery, how you connect, what you connect to, and you're going to see immediately results. You're going to feel it within you. You're going to see it around you, and you're going to notice it. I know that one thing when I started doing the work that I'm going to put in this event, I started seeing things. Not like, oh, I'm seeing someone walk down the hallway and shit, but we're talking about my life started shifting. Some things I was like, oh shit, this is horrible. Why is this happening? But Spirit was like, honey, this is to teach you how to quiet yourself down. This is to teach you how to focus on what's important. So that's what I learned. And like I said, you're going to learn it too. And I might even put together like a little mini class. Who knows? I'm not a fan of selling stuff. I feel like everyone who comes on my channel is spiritual, to be honest with you. And I feel like you can ask your spirits, hey, is this the right class for me? Would I learn things from this? Um, and if so, make it happen. But of course, once again, if you're not really spiritual, you're going to be like, yeah, well, spirit told me not to take it. And be like, yeah, honey, I wish I would have taken the class afterwards. That happens a lot. Oh, no, honey. Then you're not really spiritual, baby. But anyway, love and light, honey. Thank you so much for stopping by here, Jay and Larry. Yes, honey. Very, very early in the morning, Tuesday, honey. I don't know. I got one thing I have to do today, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know if this should be an off day for me, and just really, really just kick my feet up and relax and just, honey, sleep as long as I need to sleep in. Yesterday it was hot as hell. Oh my God, I did so much running around. Girl. Went to the, oh my God, girl. So much tea, honey. Anyway, all good though. Okay. Anyway, love and light. Thank you for stopping by here. Once again, I do appreciate you all. And also, if you're ever trying to reach me, contact information below, chewyspirit@gmail.com. And always remember to be good to yourself and to your others, honey. And also, I'm gonna start saying put your magic where your mouth is and start walking the walk. You know, if you that thing, be that thing. If you're not that thing, sit down and go eat a chicken wing. Ow. Okay. Anyway, bye for now.
Madam Merkaba.
I just want to relax with
Madam
you.
Merkaba.
Chill.
Madam
keep it real
Merkaba.
sweet. That's really all I want to do. Can we talk? Let's talk. Relax, let your hair down, and just really, really enjoy each other's company. I enjoy being here with you, and I hope you feel the same way too. Can we do that? Madam Merkaba.